The resurrection of planet Vegeta. The wind howled across Kami's lookout as Goku stood before the 7 Dragon Balls, their orange glow pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. His gi flapped violently in the gathering storm, but his expression remained calm, resolved. Vegeta stood several paces behind him, arms crossed, his face an unreadable mask, though his eyes betrayed something deeper, a flicker of hope he would never admit aloud. "Are you certain about this, Kakarot?" Vegeta's voice cut through the wind. "The dead should remain dead. That's the natural order." Goku turned, his usual cheerful demeanor replaced by something more serious. "When have we ever followed the natural order, Vegeta? We've died and come back. We've fought gods and become gods. If we have the power to right an ancient wrong, shouldn't we use it?" Vegeta's jaw tightened. He wanted to argue, to maintain his pride, but the truth was that every fiber of his being yearned for this, to see his father again, to walk the red sands of his homeworld, to give his people a second chance at existence. "Then make the wish," Vegeta said quietly, turning away so Goku wouldn't see the emotion in his eyes. Goku raised his hands toward the sky. "Eternal Dragon, I summon you forth!" The Dragon Balls erupted with golden light, shooting 7 beams into the heavens. The sky turned black as midnight, and storm clouds swirled into a massive vortex. From the center of the darkness, a serpentine form emerged, scales gleaming emerald green, eyes burning crimson. Shenron descended, his massive body coiling through the air, dwarfing the lookout beneath him. "You who have gathered the Dragon Balls, speak your wish, and I shall grant it." Goku took a deep breath. This was it, no turning back. "Shenron, I wish to restore planet Vegeta and all the Saiyans who died when it was destroyed, exactly as they were before Frieza destroyed them." The dragon's eyes flared brighter. "Your wish is within my power. It shall be done." The Dragon Balls flashed so brilliantly that both Goku and Vegeta had to shield their eyes. The light seemed to tear through the fabric of space itself, reaching out across the galaxy to a point of ancient destruction. For a moment, everything went silent. Then Shenron's voice echoed one final time. "Your wish has been granted. Farewell." The dragon dissolved into 7 streams of light, and the Dragon Balls shot off in different directions before falling back to the lookout, now gray and lifeless stone. The sky slowly returned to its normal blue, but Goku and Vegeta stood frozen, both sensing something profound shifting in the universe. Across the vast expanse of space, in a sector that had been empty void for decades, reality rippled and reformed. The explosion reversed. The scattered atoms of a dead world pulled back together like a film played in reverse. In a flash of blinding light, planet Vegeta materialized once more. The planet hung in space, its red soil and purple sky restored to their former glory. The capital city stood again, its white towers reaching toward the heavens. And across the entire world, in homes, in training facilities, in the royal palace itself, millions of Saiyans gasped their first breath in over 40 years. In the throne room, King Vegeta sat upright with a start, his hand instinctively reaching for the energy blast he'd been preparing against Frieza's forces. But there were no soldiers, no attack. He was simply alive, sitting on his throne as if no time had passed at all. What is this?" The king's voice echoed in the empty chamber. He looked at his hands, felt his chest, his face. Everything was real, but how? In a modest home in the lower districts, Bardock jolted awake on his bed, his wife Jean beside him. He examined his hands, turning them over slowly. The scars from his last battle were gone, healed by whatever power had brought them back. His mind raced,
trying to piece together what had happened. The last thing he remembered was the blinding light of Frieza's attack, the planet exploding around him, the certainty of death. "Bardock?" Jean's soft voice trembled. "What's happening? I thought we were—" "Dead," Bardock finished. "We should be dead." He stood and walked to the window, pulling back the curtain. The familiar red sky of planet Vegeta stretched above them. Saiyans were emerging from their homes in the streets below, equally confused and amazed. But we're not. Someone brought us back. The question is who and why. Far away on Earth, in the gravity chamber of Capsule Corporation, Vegeta suddenly stiffened. His eyes widened, the weighted bar he'd been lifting crashing to the ground with a metallic clang. A sensation he hadn't felt in decades washed over him, a powerful, unmistakable key signature. Royal, commanding, familiar. "Father," Vegeta whispered, barely able to believe it.
Goku appeared in the doorway, using instant transmission. His hand was on Vegeta's shoulder before the prince could react. "You feel it too, don't you? It worked, Vegeta. They're back." For once, Vegeta didn't brush off Goku's touch. His hands trembled slightly, though he fought to control it. "Kakarot, if this is some kind of— It's real," Goku said firmly. "I can feel your father's ki. I can feel so many of them, including—" He paused, his own voice catching slightly. "Including my parents." The two warriors stood in silence for a moment, the gravity of what they'd done settling over them like a heavy cloak. Then Vegeta straightened, his composure returning. "Then we should go. They'll need answers. They'll need to understand what's happened and what's changed." "Right," Goku agreed. He placed 2 fingers on his forehead, locking on to the king's powerful energy signature. Vegeta gripped his shoulder tightly. "Hold on." In an instant, they vanished. Goku and Vegeta materialized in the throne room of the royal palace, and the effect was immediate. King Vegeta shot to his feet, power flaring around him instinctively. Royal guards who had been gathering to understand the situation dropped into combat stances, but they froze when they saw who had appeared. "Prince Vegeta?" one of the guards gasped. King Vegeta's eyes narrowed as he studied the figure before him. Yes, it was his son, but different, older, stronger. The power radiating from him was unlike anything the king had ever felt from his child. And the other one, the tall Saiyan in the orange gi. "Father," Vegeta said, and for the first time in his life, he bowed his head in genuine respect rather than obligation. "I know you have many questions. I'm here to provide answers." "You dare address me so casually? And who is this low-class warrior you've brought into the royal presence? Explain yourself immediately." Goku stepped forward, unfazed by the king's intimidation. "My name is Kakarot, though I go by Goku now. I'm the one who wished you all back to life. Well, I made the wish, but Vegeta supported it." "Wished us back?" King Vegeta descended the steps from his throne slowly, his eyes never leaving the two warriors. "What are you talking about? What happened to planet Vegeta? The last thing I remember is Frieza's forces attacking." His face paled slightly. "Frieza, he destroyed us, didn't he?"
"Yes," Vegeta confirmed. "Over 40 years ago, Frieza obliterated our homeworld and killed nearly every Saiyan in existence. Only a handful survived. Myself, Kakarot, my brother Tarbal, Nappa, Raditz, and a few others scattered across the galaxy." The king's face twisted with rage and grief. 40 years? We've been dead for 40 years? He looked around the restored throne room, his mind struggling to comprehend it. Then how is this possible? On Earth, there are 7 magical orbs called Dragon Balls. When gathered together, they can summon a wish-granting dragon. I used them to bring back planet Vegeta and everyone who died when Frieza destroyed it. King Vegeta was silent for a long moment, processing this information. Then his eyes fixed on Goku with new intensity. "You're Bardock's youngest son, the one who was sent to Earth as an infant. You know my father?" Goku asked, surprised. Bardock was one of my finest warriors. Despite his low class, he had remarkable instincts and power. If you're his son, then you should be serving under me as he did. He paused, sensing the enormous power both warriors possessed. And yet I sense you're no longer low class at all. Neither of you are what you should be. What happened in those 40 years? Vegeta and Goku exchanged glances. Perhaps it's better if we show you, Vegeta said. Without warning, both warriors erupted with power. Their hair flashed gold, their eyes turned turquoise, and a blazing aura surrounded them. King Vegeta stumbled backward, his scouter exploding from the readings. The guards gasped, some dropping to their knees from the overwhelming pressure. "This is Super Saiyan," Vegeta explained, his voice echoing with power. "The legendary transformation that only appears once every 1,000 years. Kakarot achieved it first, I followed. Since then, we've both surpassed it multiple times." The golden aura faded, but before the king could respond, both warriors transformed again. This time, their hair turned blue, and their power multiplied exponentially. King Vegeta actually fell to one knee, unable to stand in the presence of such divine energy. "This is Super Saiyan Blue," Goku continued. "We achieved this by training with the gods of destruction and their attendants. We're not just warriors anymore, Your Majesty. We've reached the realm of the gods." When they powered down, the king remained kneeling, his proud bearing shattered by the reality before him. His son, his prince, had become something beyond his comprehension, and a low-class warrior had achieved the same heights. "Rise, father," Vegeta said, not unkindly. "The universe has changed. The Saiyan race was nearly exterminated, but we survived. We grew stronger, and now we're giving our people a second chance. But things cannot go back to the way they were. The old ways, the old cruelty, that path led to our destruction." King Vegeta slowly stood, his face a mixture of awe, confusion, and something that might have been pride. "What would you have me do, my son?" "Help us rebuild, but rebuild something better, something worthy of our power." Before the king could respond, the doors to the throne room burst open. Bardock strode in, his expression determined and urgent. He stopped short when he saw Goku standing there. Time seemed to freeze as father and youngest son locked eyes for the first time since Goku was an infant in a space pod. Bardock's breath caught in his throat. He'd seen the face in visions, in prophetic dreams that had haunted him before planet Vegeta's destruction. The face of a Saiyan who would save the universe. His youngest son, Kakarot. "It's you," Bardock whispered. "You're the one from my visions." Goku smiled warmly, though his eyes glistened. "Hi, Dad. I know this is strange. I don't remember you. I was just a baby when you sent me to Earth, but I've heard stories about you, about how brave you were, how you tried to stop Frieza." "I sent you to Earth to save your life. It was supposed to be a low-level planet where you could survive. I never thought." He looked Goku up and down, sensing the incredible power within him. "What did that planet do to you?" "Earth made me who I am. I hit my head when I landed and forgot my Saiyan programming. I was raised by a kind old man who taught me martial arts and compassion. I grew up defending Earth from threats, getting stronger with each battle. Eventually, I learned about my Saiyan heritage and embraced it, but I never forgot the values Earth taught me." "You're soft," Bardock said bluntly. "I can sense it. Your power is extraordinary, but your heart is too gentle for a Saiyan."
"Maybe," Goku acknowledged, "but that softness is what helped me achieve Super Saiyan. I transformed because I cared about my friends and was angry when they were hurt.
Pure anger and pride can only take you so far, Dad. You need something to fight for, not just something to fight against. Bardock frowned, clearly conflicted. Then Genie appeared in the doorway behind him, having followed her husband to the palace. She gasped when she saw Goku, immediately recognizing her baby boy, despite the decades between them. "Kakarot," she breathed, tears streaming down her face. She rushed forward and embraced Goku tightly, not caring about royal protocol or warrior pride. "My baby, my sweet baby boy." Goku returned the hug gently, surprised by the surge of emotion he felt. He'd never known his mother, never felt a parent's embrace like this. Chi-Chi's love was different, and Gohan had been his grandfather figure, but this was the connection of blood. "I call myself Goku now, Mom, but yeah, it's me, and I'm so glad to meet you." Vegeta watched the reunion with crossed arms, his expression carefully neutral, though something stirred in his chest. His own father had never shown such warmth, such open affection. It was beneath royal dignity. But seeing Kakarot, this powerful, godlike warrior, being held by his mother and not caring who saw it, Vegeta wondered if perhaps the royal way wasn't the only way. "Touching as this is," King Vegeta interrupted, "we have more pressing matters. If Frieza destroyed our planet once, what's to stop him from doing it again? And how has the universe changed in 40 years? "A lot has changed," Vegeta said. "Frieza is dead. Kakarot killed him on planet Namek. Then he was brought back and became even stronger. I defeated him in that form. But recently, he achieved a new transformation called Black Frieza, and in that form, Vegeta's pride clearly stung as he admitted it. He surpasses even us. "Then we're still in danger," Bardock said sharply. "If that tyrant is still out there, he'll come for us." "Let him come," Goku said with surprising steel in his voice. "This time, all of us are here, the entire Saiyan race, plus Earth's defenders, and we're gonna make sure everyone is prepared." Over the following weeks, planet Vegeta transformed into the largest training ground in the universe. Goku and Vegeta took on the monumental task of teaching the ancient Saiyans about the transformations and techniques they'd discovered.
In a massive training arena, thousands of Saiyans gathered to watch as Vegeta demonstrated the Super Saiyan transformation for the first time to the masses. "The transformation isn't just about power level," Vegeta explained, golden aura blazing around him. "It's about emotion. You need a trigger, pure, overwhelming emotion. For most of us, it's rage, but it can also be desperation, the need to protect someone, or even profound loss." Bardock stood at the front of the crowd, studying every detail. He'd been training relentlessly, pushing himself harder than ever before. The knowledge that his son had achieved this legendary form drove him forward with intense determination. Goku worked with smaller groups, teaching technique and control. In one session, he sparred with King Vegeta himself, showing the proud ruler just how far the art of combat had evolved. "You're fast," the king admitted, breathing heavily as he tried to land a hit on Goku's weaving form. "Faster than any Saiyan I've ever fought." "It's not just about speed," Goku explained, effortlessly dodging another strike. "It's about reading your opponent, feeling their energy, anticipating their moves. When you're fighting someone really strong, you can't rely on power alone. You need strategy, adaptability, and instinct." The king launched a powerful blast, but Goku simply tilted his head, letting it pass by harmlessly. Then, in a burst of speed, Goku appeared behind the king and tapped him on the shoulder. "See? You're broadcasting your attacks. Your energy spikes right before you strike. Against someone who can sense ki, that's like shouting your strategy." King Vegeta spun around, frustration and fascination warring on his face. "Teach me to control it." And Goku did.
One evening, as twin moons rose over the training grounds, Bardock stood alone in the desert, attempting the transformation. He'd pushed himself to his absolute limits repeatedly, remembering every battle, every loss, every moment of rage and desperation from his life. Goku watched from a distance, not interfering, just observing. He could sense his father's power rising, fluctuating, searching for that crucial breakthrough. "Come on, Dad," Goku whispered to himself. "You can do it."
Bardock thought of his team, slaughtered by Dodoria. He thought of watching planet Vegeta explode in his visions, powerless to stop it. He thought of sending his infant son away, never knowing if he'd survive. And he thought of meeting that son decades later, seeing how strong Kakarot had become without him. "I won't be left behind," Bardock growled. "Not by my own son, not by anyone." His power exploded outward. The ground cracked beneath his feet. His hair flickered between black and gold, once, twice, 3 times. And then, with a roar that shook the desert, Bardock's hair turned golden, his eyes turquoise, his power multiplying 50-fold. He'd done it. He'd become a Super Saiyan. Goku flew down, landing beside his father with a huge grin. "I knew you could do it. How does it feel?" Bardock looked at his hands, golden energy crackling around them, feeling the power surging through every cell of his body. "Like I finally understand what it means to be a Saiyan," he replied. "Not the Saiyans we were, brutal conquerors serving a tyrant, but the Saiyans we should be, warriors who fight for something meaningful." Father and son clasped forearms, Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan, and in that moment, a bond was formed that transcended the 40 years they'd spent apart. Far across the galaxy, aboard a massive flagship, Frieza sat on his hovering throne, studying a holographic display. His tail swished in agitation as he reviewed the sensor data for the 3rd time. "This is impossible," he hissed. "Planet Vegeta's energy signature has reappeared, along with millions of Saiyan life forms." His attendant, a nervous alien creature, trembled as he spoke. "Lord Frieza, shall we investigate?" "No," Frieza said coldly. "I know exactly what happened. The Dragon Balls. Someone used those accursed orbs to undo my greatest victory." His red eyes narrowed dangerously. "The question is who, and more importantly, how should I respond to this insult?" He tapped a clawed finger against his throne, thinking. "The Saiyans were dangerous enough when they served me. Now, with decades of freedom and that Super Saiyan transformation running rampant, they could pose a genuine threat. Unless I acquire a weapon powerful enough to crush them all at once." "My lord?" asked the attendant nervously.
"Broly," Frieza said simply. "Find me the legendary Super Saiyan. I have use for that monster." Meanwhile, on planet Vegeta, not all the reunions were happening in training grounds. Gohan arrived with Videl and Little Pan, using a Capsule Corp ship that Bulma had provided. The aircraft touched down near the royal palace, and Gohan stepped out, carrying his daughter. "Are you sure about this, Gohan?" Videl asked, concern in her eyes. "Meeting your great-grandparents is wonderful, but isn't this world still dangerous?" "It'll be fine," Gohan assured her. "Dad and Vegeta are here, and they're making sure everything is secure. Besides, Pan deserves to know her heritage." Goku and Gine had been alerted to their arrival and were waiting at the landing platform. When Gine saw her grandson step out of the ship, a brilliant young man with Goku's kind eyes and immense power, she couldn't help but tear up again. "Grandmother Gine," Gohan said warmly, bowing respectfully. "It's an honor to finally meet you." "Oh, stop that bowing," Gine laughed, pulling him into a hug. "We're family. And this must be Little Pan."
She carefully took the baby from Gohan's arms, her eyes widening with joy. "Oh, she's beautiful. She has our eyes." Bardock approached more cautiously, still uncomfortable with such open displays of emotion. But when he looked at his granddaughter, something softened in his expression. "She's strong," he noted. "I can feel her potential already." "She's a quarter Saiyan, but yes, she's already showing signs of having significant power. We're raising her to be strong, but also kind, the best of both worlds." "Like her grandfather," Bardock said, looking at Goku with something that might have been respect. The family moment was interrupted by a familiar voice. "Well, well, the studious one finally arrives." Raditz, Goku's older brother, landed beside them. He'd been resurrected, along with all the other Saiyans, and had been reeling from the revelation that his baby brother had become one of the most powerful beings in the universe. "Raditz," Goku greeted cheerfully. "I was wondering when you'd show up."
Kakarot, Raditz replied, still using his brother's Saiyan name. His relationship with Goku was complicated. They'd been enemies once, fought to the death even. But now, given a second chance, Raditz seemed to be reassessing everything. "I hear you're teaching the Super Saiyan transformation. I want to learn." "Sure," Goku said enthusiastically. "The more of us who can transform, the better we can protect the planet." "I'm not doing it to protect anyone," Raditz said defensively. "I'm doing it for power." Goku just smiled. "Whatever your reason, the result is the same. Come on, I'll introduce you to some of the training groups." As Goku led Raditz away, Bardock watched them go. Janae came to stand beside her husband, still cradling Pan. "They're so different from us," she said softly. "Kakarot especially. He's everything the Saiyans were supposed to be. Strong, brave, honorable, but also everything we weren't. Compassionate, forgiving, hopeful." "He's soft," Bardock muttered, though there was no real conviction in his words. "He's better than us," Janae corrected gently, "and maybe that's exactly what our race needed." Bardock didn't reply, but deep down he knew she was right. 3 weeks after Planet Vegeta's resurrection, a Capsule Corp ship arrived carrying Bulma, Trunks, and Goten. Bulma had come with a specific purpose, to meet with the Saiyan scientists and engineers to create a proper planetary defense system. "Look," she explained to a room full of skeptical Saiyan technicians, "your planet was destroyed once. You need more than just strong fighters. You need early warning systems, shield generators, and defensive satellite networks. That's what I'm here to help build." King Vegeta, observing the meeting, was impressed despite himself. "This Earth woman speaks with authority, and her technological knowledge is remarkable." "Bulma is the smartest person on Earth," she said, with unmistakable pride in his voice. "She's also my wife and the mother of my son." The king's eyebrows rose. "You married an alien?" "I married the woman I love," Vegeta replied firmly. "The same woman who gave me a family and a home when I had nothing. The same woman whose genius has saved the Earth multiple times over. If you have a problem with that, father, then you and I are going to have words." King Vegeta studied his son's face, seeing the absolute conviction there, and wisely chose to drop the subject. Times had indeed changed. While Bulma worked on planetary defenses, Vegeta had his own training to complete. He'd been pushing himself relentlessly, trying to master a new form that he'd been on the cusp of achieving for months. He'd seen Goku perfect Ultra Instinct, and it had driven him to seek his own unique path. On the red sands of his homeworld, surrounded by the crimson sky of his birth, Vegeta closed his eyes and searched within himself. Ultra Instinct was about letting go, moving without thinking. But that wasn't him. Vegeta's strength had always come from his pride, his ego, his indomitable will to be the best. What if, instead of letting go, he embraced those qualities completely? "Come on," Vegeta growled to himself. "This is my home, my world. If I can't achieve this here, I can't achieve it anywhere." He thought about his father, resurrected and watching from the palace. He thought about his people, reborn and depending on him.
He thought about Bulma and Trunks, his family waiting back on Earth. He thought about Kakarot, always one step ahead, always pushing him to be better. "I am Prince Vegeta," he declared to the desert. "I am the pride of the Saiyan race. I am destruction incarnate. I am..." Purple energy exploded around him, different from any transformation before. His hair remained black, but took on a purple sheen. His eyes burned violet. Dark markings appeared across his body, divine and terrible. Ultra Ego. The power was intoxicating. Unlike Ultra Instinct's calm precision, this form fed on damage, on destruction, on the thrill of battle. The more he was hit, the stronger he became. It was perfect for him. Goku appeared via instant transmission, his eyes widening when he sensed Vegeta's new transformation. "Vegeta, you did it! You found your own path." "Of course I did," Vegeta replied, but there was a fierce satisfaction in his voice rather than mere arrogance. "Now we're truly equals, Kakarot. Your Ultra Instinct and my Ultra Ego. Let the universe tremble." But even as they celebrated Vegeta's achievement, both warriors felt a chill run down their spines. They turned simultaneously, looking up at the sky, sensing something approaching. Something dark, something powerful, something that radiated malice like a dying sun radiated heat. "Frieza," they said in unison. The alarms Bulma had installed began wailing across planet Vegeta. On massive display screens throughout the capital city, the threat became visible. A vast armada of ships emerging from hyperspace, so numerous they blotted out the stars. At the head of the fleet was Frieza's flagship, larger and more menacing than ever. King Vegeta stood on the palace balcony, his face pale as he stared at the approaching ships. "So many," he whispered. "We never saw this many when he attacked before." "That's because last time he didn't need them," Bardock said grimly, standing beside the king. "He destroyed our planet with a single attack. This time, he knows we're ready for him." Throughout the planet, Saiyans took to the sky in massive formations, thousands of warriors ready to defend their resurrected homeworld. Thanks to the training Goku and Vegeta had provided, many had achieved Super Saiyan, and all of them were significantly stronger than they'd been in life. Goku and Vegeta stood at the front of the formation, both transformed into Super Saiyan Blue, their divine ki blazing like twin stars. "Let me handle the communications," Vegeta said. He raised his hand and his voice, amplified by his ki, boomed across the void of space. "Frieza, this is Prince Vegeta of the Saiyans. Turn your ships around and leave this sector, or we will destroy you." From the flagship, Frieza's mocking laughter echoed back. "Oh, my dear prince, how delightful to hear your voice again, and how bold you've become. But I'm afraid I must decline your generous offer. You see, I went to considerable trouble to exterminate your race once. I won't allow someone to simply undo my hard work." The flagship's main viewport illuminated, revealing Frieza in his final form, tail swishing with amusement. But he wasn't alone. Standing beside him, restrained by heavy shackles but radiating enormous power, was a figure that made both Goku and Vegeta tense. "Broly," Goku breathed.
"That's right," Frieza said cheerfully. "I found your legendary Super Saiyan and brought him along for the festivities. Broly, dear boy, see that planet below us, the one full of Saiyans? Would you like to play with them?" Broly's eyes, glazed and unfocused, suddenly sharpened at the word play. The shackles around him began to crack as his power swelled. "Frieza, you bastard," Vegeta snarled. "You're controlling him." Merely giving him suggestions, Frieza replied smoothly. Broly is such a simple creature. Point him at something and he'll destroy it. And right now, I'm pointing him at you. Broly, destroy planet Vegeta and every Saiyan on it. The shackles exploded. Broly's power erupted, his hair flashing green as he transformed into his legendary Super Saiyan form. With a roar that shook the very fabric of space, Broly launched himself at the planet like a living missile. "I've got him!" Goku shouted, vanishing with instant transmission and reappearing in Broly's path. The two collided in an explosion of force that created a shockwave visible from the planet's surface. "Goku!" Broly roared, some recognition in his eyes despite the conditioning. "Fight!" "I don't want to fight you, Broly," Goku shouted back, blocking a devastating punch. "You're being controlled. Frieza's manipulating you." "Don't care. Fight!" Broly's power continued to rise, his green aura expanding like a supernova. Goku gritted his teeth. He couldn't reason with Broly in this state, which meant he'd have to defeat him. "Fine, but I'm going to snap you out of this." Their battle moved away from the planet, two titans clashing in the void, each blow creating ripples in space-time itself. Meanwhile, Frieza's fleet advanced. The front line of ships opened fire, launching thousands of energy beams at planet Vegeta. The Saiyan army responded in kind, filling space with golden ki blasts. Vegeta shot forward, his Ultra Ego form blazing with purple energy. "The rest of you focus on the ships. Kakarot and I will handle Frieza." But before Vegeta could reach the flagship, Frieza himself emerged, transforming in a flash of golden light. "I'm afraid you'll have to go through me first, Prince, and I've improved since our last encounter."
Frieza's golden form had evolved, becoming sleeker, more refined. The two clashed in a flurry of blows that moved faster than light, their combat so intense that space itself seemed to crack around them. "You've gotten stronger," Frieza admitted, blocking a devastating kick. "But strength alone won't save you, monkey." On the planet's surface, King Vegeta and Bardock led the defense of the capital city. Ships that broke through the orbital battle were met with volleys of ki blasts from thousands of Saiyans. "For planet Vegeta!" King Vegeta roared, firing a massive energy wave that consumed 3 frigates. "For our families!" Bardock added, transforming into Super Saiyan and demolishing a landing craft that was attempting to deploy ground troops. Jean fought beside her husband, her own power impressive as she blasted enemy soldiers. "I spent my whole life avoiding combat," she said, firing another blast. "But for my sons, for my family, I'll fight until my last breath." Suddenly, a portal of swirling energy opened in the sky above the capital. From it emerged 2 figures, Piccolo and Gohan, having sensed the battle from Earth and used the Kai's teleportation techniques to arrive. But these weren't the Piccolo and Gohan who had left Earth days ago. Gohan had transformed into Beast Gohan, his hair silver white, his power transcending anything he'd achieved before. Piccolo stood beside him in his orange Piccolo form, skin bright orange, his power rivaling the gods. "Sorry we're late," Gohan called out. "Pan's with Videl at Capsule Corp. We came as soon as we sensed the battle." "Glad you could make it," Bardock replied, blasting another ship. Then he did a double take, looking at Gohan more carefully. "Wait, you're my grandson?" "No time for family reunions," Gohan shouted, launching himself at a massive capital ship. His fist connected with the hull, and the entire vessel crumpled inward before exploding. Piccolo extended his arms across incredible distances, wrapping them around multiple ships and crushing them like tin cans. "Focus on the fighters. I'll handle the larger vessels." The battle raged across the entire solar system. In one sector,
Goku and Broly were locked in combat so fierce that nearby asteroids were vaporized by the sheer pressure of their ki. In another, Vegeta and Golden Frieza exchanged blows that created shock waves powerful enough to shatter moons. King Vegeta watched the battle from below, his pride warring with the stark realization of how outclassed he truly was. His son, who he remembered as a child, was fighting a tyrant who had destroyed their planet and winning. The low-class Saiyans' son was battling the legendary Super Saiyan to a standstill. "The universe has moved beyond us," the king said quietly to himself. "We are relics, brought back to a world we no longer understand." Bardock heard him and landed beside the king. "Maybe so," he said, "but that doesn't mean we're useless. Our sons are strong because of what we gave them. Saiyan blood, Saiyan pride, Saiyan determination. They're just better versions of what we were meant to be." The king nodded slowly. "You're right. We may not be the strongest anymore, but we can still fight. We can still protect our people." "Exactly," Bardock agreed. "Now come on, there are still plenty of enemies that need killing." The two warriors, king and soldier, fought side by side as equals for the first time in their lives. In orbit, Vegeta's ultra ego was proving to be the perfect counter to Frieza's golden form. Every hit Vegeta took made him stronger, and his relentless assault was beginning to wear Frieza down. "Impossible," Frieza snarled, blood dripping from his mouth. "I am Lord Frieza. I am perfection. You cannot—" "Shut up," Vegeta roared, landing a devastating punch to Frieza's gut that made the tyrant double over. "You're nothing but a relic of a dead era. The universe has moved beyond fear of you." Frieza's eyes widened with rage, and then something shifted in his expression. A cruel smile spread across his face. "You think you've won? You think this is my full power?" He began to laugh, the sound chilling and manic. "Oh, Prince Vegeta, I've been holding back. Let me show you what 10 years of training in isolation has given me." A dark aura erupted around Frieza, black as the void between stars. His golden form shifted, turning pitch black with red accents. His power multiplied exponentially, surpassing anything Vegeta had felt before.
"Behold," Frieza declared in his Black Frieza form, "true perfection." Before Vegeta could react, Frieza moved with impossible speed. A single punch connected with Vegeta's chest, and the Prince of Saiyans was sent hurtling through space, crashing through 3 of his own ships before tumbling toward the planet's surface. "Vegeta!" Trunks screamed from the ground, watching his father fall. Frieza turned his attention to the ongoing battle between Goku and Broly. With a casual gesture, he fired a precise ki beam that struck Broly in the back. The legendary Super Saiyan's eyes rolled back, and he collapsed, unconscious. "Broly!" Goku shouted, catching the falling warrior. He looked up to see Black Frieza approaching, and his blood ran cold. This power, it was beyond anything he'd faced. "Hello, Goku," Frieza said pleasantly. "I do hope you're ready, because unlike our previous encounters, this time I'm going to—" Goku didn't let him finish. Instant transmission put him right in Frieza's face, and he unleashed a point-blank Kamehameha at full power. The blue beam engulfed Frieza completely. When the light faded, Frieza was still floating there, completely unharmed. "Are you quite finished?" Frieza's fist moved faster than Goku could perceive. The impact sent Goku spinning through space, his consciousness flickering. Another hit, and another, and another. Black Frieza was toying with him, breaking him down piece by piece. "Dad!" Gohan screamed from the planet, sensing his father's ki plummeting.
Bardock watched in horror as his son, his impossibly strong son who had achieved godhood, was being beaten like a child. "No," he whispered, "not Kakarot, not my boy." With a final devastating strike, Frieza sent Goku crashing toward planet Vegeta. The Saiyan warrior's body carved a crater into the red sand, his Super Saiyan blue form flickering out, his body broken and unconscious. Jean screamed, running toward where her son had fallen. Bardock was already flying, golden aura blazing, rage unlike anything he'd ever felt consuming him. But before he could reach Frieza, Vegeta returned, battered and bloody but still alive, still fighting. "Get back, Bardock! He's mine! You can barely stand!" Bardock shouted.
"I don't care." Vegeta spat blood and transformed back into Ultra Ego. "I am the Prince of all Saiyans. I will not fall to this tyrant." Vegeta and Frieza clashed again, but it was clear Vegeta was outmatched. Frieza was playing with him, enjoying his suffering. On the ground, Goku was dragged to a medical facility by Piccolo and Gohan. They placed him in a healing tank, the green liquid immediately working to repair his extensive injuries. "How bad is it?" King Vegeta asked, approaching the tank. "Bad," Piccolo replied grimly. "He's alive, but it'll take time for him to recover. Time we may not have." Through the tank's glass, they could see Goku's unconscious face, peaceful despite the battle raging above. In space, Vegeta was reaching his limit. Even Ultra Ego's ability to get stronger from damage had its limits, and Frieza's power was simply too overwhelming. A vicious kick sent Vegeta spinning, and Frieza caught him by the throat. "Any last words, Prince?" Frieza asked mockingly. "Yes," Vegeta gasped. "You've already lost. You just don't know it yet." "Oh, and why is that?" "Because you made one crucial mistake," Vegeta said, actually smiling through the pain. "You came to our home, you threatened our families, and you hurt Kakarot. You've given every Saiyan here something to fight for." As if to punctuate his words, Bardock slammed into Frieza from behind, transforming further in his rage. His golden aura exploded with electrical energy. He'd achieved Super Saiyan 2. "That's my son you hurt," Bardock roared, unleashing a barrage of attacks on Frieza. "And I don't care if you're a god or a devil, you're going to pay." Frieza laughed and swatted Bardock aside, but then Jean was there, also transformed, her attacks precise and calculated. Then King Vegeta arrived, his own golden aura blazing, having finally achieved Super Saiyan through sheer determination to protect his people. More and more Saiyans joined the assault. Raditz, Nappa, who had been resurrected with the others, dozens of elite warriors, all transformed, all fighting together. They couldn't match Frieza individually, but together they were buying time. On the ground, Gohan stood beside the healing tank, his fists clenched. "Come on, Dad, wake up! We need you!" Suddenly, Goku's eyes opened inside the tank. The green liquid began to bubble violently as his power surged. The glass cracked, then shattered, and Goku stepped out, his body fully healed, his power restored, and somehow even greater than before. "How are you feeling?" Piccolo asked. Goku stretched, rolled his shoulders, and smiled. Ready for round 2. But first, he placed 2 fingers on his forehead, locking on to Bardock's key. "I'm going to need help." He vanished and reappeared in space beside his father. "Tag out, Dad. You've done great." "Kakarot!" Bardock gasped in relief. "You're okay." "More than okay," Goku replied. His aura shifted, turning silver as he accessed true Ultra Instinct. "Now let me show Frieza what happens when you mess with my family."
Goku moved like liquid light, flowing around Frieza's attacks with impossible grace. Each of Goku's strikes landed with devastating precision, targeting weak points, creating openings, building damage. Frieza snarled in frustration. "You should be dead. How are you standing?" "Because I have something you'll never understand," Goku replied calmly, his silver aura blazing. "I have people I love, people I protect, and they give me strength you can never achieve alone." But even Ultra Instinct wasn't enough. Frieza's black form was simply too powerful, too refined. For every hit Goku landed, Frieza landed too. The battle was turning against him again. Then Vegeta appeared beside him, Ultra Ego fully powered up. Despite his injuries, despite his exhaustion, the prince stood ready. "Kakarot," Vegeta said, "I have an idea, but you're going to hate it." "What is it?" Goku asked, dodging another of Frieza's attacks. "The fusion dance," Vegeta replied, his pride clearly aching at the suggestion. "It's the only way we can match his power." Goku's eyes widened. They'd fused before, creating Gogeta, but always as a last resort. The fact that Vegeta was suggesting it now showed how desperate their situation was.
"You're right," Goku said. "I hate it. Let's do it anyway."
The two warriors pulled back from Frieza, landing on the surface of one of planet Vegeta's moons. The entire Saiyan army watched in confusion as the two strongest warriors began performing a synchronized dance. "What are they doing?" King Vegeta asked. "Something incredible," Gohan replied, sensing what was about to happen. "Everyone, get ready. The real battle is about to begin." Fusion. Ha! Goku and Vegeta's fingers touched, and a blinding light consumed them both. When it faded, a single warrior stood where two had been. His hair was a unique blend of Goku and Vegeta's styles, shimmering between silver and purple as both Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego fought for dominance within the fusion, ultimately merging into something new. "I am neither Goku nor Vegeta," the warrior declared, his voice carrying both men's tones. "I am Gogeta, and I'm going to end this." Frieza's confident smirk faltered for the first time. What is this power?" Gogeta's speed was beyond comprehension. He appeared in front of Frieza and delivered a punch that sent the tyrant hurtling through space, through the moon they'd been standing on, and into the debris field of broken ships beyond. "Impossible!" Frieza screamed, trying to recover, but Gogeta was already there, his attacks coming from every direction at once. The fusion of Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego created a fighting style that was both perfectly precise and devastatingly powerful. Gogeta moved with Ultra Instinct's grace while hitting with Ultra Ego's destructive force, and he got stronger with every blow Frieza managed to land. "You wanted to destroy the Saiyans?" Gogeta asked, his voice eerily calm as he pummeled Frieza. "You wanted to end our race for good? Let me tell you something about Saiyans, Frieza. We don't just survive, we thrive, we grow, we protect each other, and we never, ever give up." Frieza tried to fire his supernova attack, the same technique he'd used to destroy planet Vegeta the first time. The massive red and black energy sphere grew above him, large enough to consume the entire planet. "I'll destroy it all!" Frieza shrieked madly. "Everything! I'll erase every last Saiyan from existence!"
But Gogeta raised both hands, and energy from every Saiyan below flowed up to him. Golden, blue, silver, purple, every form of Super Saiyan energy combined. Bardock, Ginny, King Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, Gohan, Piccolo, Broly, who had regained consciousness, Trunks, Goten, every warrior on the planet, they all gave their energy willingly. "Soul Punisher!" Gogeta shouted, unleashing a rainbow-colored sphere of energy. The Soul Punisher met Frieza's supernova in the void between planets. For a moment, they seemed evenly matched. Then the Soul Punisher, powered by the combined will of the entire Saiyan race and Earth's defenders, began to push forward. "No," Frieza screamed. "I am Lord Frieza. I am perfection. I cannot lose to monkeys." "You're not losing to monkeys," Gogeta said quietly. "You're losing to family." The Soul Punisher consumed the supernova and engulfed Frieza completely. The tyrant's screams echoed across space as the rainbow energy purified every evil molecule of his being, breaking him down to his component atoms and scattering them across the cosmos. When the light faded, Frieza was gone. Truly, completely gone. The fusion wore off, and Goku and Vegeta appeared separately, both dropping to their base forms, utterly exhausted. They floated in space for a moment, barely conscious, before Bardock and King Vegeta flew up to catch them. "You did it," Bardock whispered, catching Goku. "My son, you actually did it." "We did it, Dad. All of us together." On the planet's surface, millions of Saiyans erupted in cheers. The threat was over. Frieza, the tyrant who had haunted their race for generations, was finally permanently defeated. But victory had come at a cost. The orbital battle had left thousands of Saiyans injured. Several cities had been damaged by falling debris from destroyed ships. The celebration was tempered by the sobering reality of the price they'd paid. In the royal palace, now converted to a medical center, Goku and Vegeta lay in healing tanks side by side, recovering from the fusion strain. Their families gathered around them. Bulma stood with her hand pressed against Vegeta's tank, tears streaming down her face. "You idiot! You reckless, prideful idiot! But you did it! You saved everyone!"
Chi-Chi stood at Goku's tank, equally emotional. "You always push yourself too far, but I'm so proud of you." Little Tan, held by Videl, reached out toward the tanks, sensing her grandfather's ki even through the healing liquid. The Dragon Balls lay at the center of the palace, gray and inert. They would remain so for a year, having granted their wish. King Vegeta stood before them, contemplating everything that had happened. "These orbs brought us back," he said to Bardock, who stood beside him. "They gave us a second chance. We can't waste it." "Agreed," Bardock replied. "The old ways led to our destruction. We served a tyrant out of fear and pride, and it got us killed. We need to be better." "Your son showed us how," the king said. "Kakarot and my son both. They found strength not through cruelty or conquest, but through bonds, through family and friendship." Gohan approached them, still in his base form, but radiating quiet power. "If I may speak freely," he said respectfully, "Earth has thrived because we don't just rely on the strongest warrior. We build societies, cultures, families. We have scientists like my mother-in-law, Bulma, martial artists like my master Piccolo, ordinary people living extraordinary lives. Strength is important, but it's not everything." King Vegeta listened, really listened. "You're suggesting we become more than just warriors. I'm suggesting you become complete. Keep your warrior traditions, they're part of who you are, but add to them. Create art, science, philosophy. Raise your children with love as well as strength. That's what made Earth worth protecting. That's what could make planet Vegeta truly great." 3 days later, the healing tanks opened. Goku and Vegeta stepped out, fully recovered, to the cheers of their families. But there was no time for rest. King Vegeta had called for a ceremony in the Grand Plaza, and the entire population of planet Vegeta was gathering. The plaza was massive, capable of holding hundreds of thousands of Saiyans. At its center stood the raised platform with the ancient throne of the Saiyan kings. King Vegeta stood beside it in his full royal armor, and beside him stood Vegeta, looking uncomfortable in formal clothing.
"People of planet Vegeta," the king's voice boomed across the plaza, amplified by technology Bulma had provided. "We have been given a second chance at life, brought back from oblivion by the selfless act of Kakarot, son of Bardock. We have survived an attack by the tyrant Frieza, protected by warriors who transcend anything our old empire could have imagined."
The crowd listened in absolute silence, hanging on every word. "I am a king of the old ways," he continued, "a ruler of an empire built on conquest and servitude. But those ways died with our planet the first time. What Kakarot and my son have shown us is that there is a better path, a stronger path, not the strength to conquer, but the strength to protect, not the power to destroy, but the power to preserve." He turned to Vegeta, placing a hand on his son's shoulder. "My son has achieved godhood. He has married an alien and created a family. He has learned to fight not for glory or pride alone, but for those he loves. He represents everything our race can become if we choose to evolve." King Vegeta removed his crown, an ancient circlet of red gold that had been worn by Saiyan kings for millennia. He held it before the crowd, then turned to Vegeta. "I hereby abdicate my throne," King Vegeta declared, "and I name my son, Prince Vegeta, as the new king of all Saiyans." The crowd erupted. Some cheered, some looked confused, a few hardliners looked angry, but the king's word was law and the decision was made. "No," Vegeta said quietly. The plaza fell silent. Everyone stared at the prince. "What?" his father asked, genuinely shocked. Vegeta looked at the crown, then at his father, then at the assembled masses. "I appreciate the honor, father, but I'm not the king these people need. I've spent most of my life on Earth. My home is there now with Bulma and Trunks. I'll help guide our people. I'll teach them. I'll protect them, but I can't rule them." "Then who?" the king began. "You," Vegeta interrupted, "but not as you were. Rule as you should have ruled, with wisdom, with consideration for all Saiyans, not just the elite. Learn from your mistakes, grow as I've grown. Can you do that, father?" King Vegeta stood in shock for a moment, then slowly a smile crossed his face. "You truly have surpassed me, my son, not just in power, but in wisdom." He placed the crown back on his own head. "Very well, I will remain king, but I will rule differently. I will build a kingdom worthy of the warriors who saved us."
The crowd erupted in genuine cheers this time. A king who had learned from his failures was better than a king who had never known failure at all. Later that evening, as 3 moons rose over planet Vegeta, Goku sat with his parents on the balcony of their home. The city below was alive with celebration, but up here it was quiet. "You're going back to Earth, aren't you?" Bardock asked. Goku nodded. "Yeah, Chi-Chi and Pan are there. It's my home now, but I'll visit. We're family after all." Ginny hugged her son tightly. "I missed so much of your life. I'll never get those years back." "No," Goku agreed, returning the hug. "But we have now, and we have the future. That's more than most people get." "Your mother and I want to see Earth," Bardock said gruffly, "if you'll have us." "Are you kidding?" Goku grinned. "Chi-Chi will love meeting you. Well, after she yells at me for getting hurt again, but then she'll love meeting you." "I want to meet this woman who captured the heart of the warrior who defeated Frieza," Ginny said with a warm smile. Vegeta appeared on the balcony, using his ability to fly. "Kakarot, can we talk?" Goku stood and walked with Vegeta to the edge of the balcony, out of earshot.
They stood in silence for a moment, looking at the planet below. "Thank you," Vegeta said quietly. "For what?" "For bringing them back. All of them. My father, your parents, our entire race. You didn't have to do that. You could have used that wish for anything." "You would have done the same," Goku replied. "No," Vegeta said honestly. "I wouldn't have. A year ago, maybe even a month ago, I would have thought it was foolish, that the past should stay in the past. But you were right. Everyone deserves a second chance." They stood together, two rivals who had become brothers, watching their home world celebrate its rebirth.
"We're going to need to keep training," Vegeta said. "Frieza is gone, but there will be other threats. There always are."
"I know," Goku agreed, "but now we have a whole planet of Saiyans who can help. Think about it, Vegeta, an entire race of Super Saiyans, all protecting the universe instead of conquering it."
"A nice dream," Vegeta admitted. "Let's see if we can make it reality."
Weeks passed. Planet Vegeta settled into a new rhythm. Saiyan children, including Goten and Trunks during their visits, played in streets rebuilt by combined Saiyan and Earth technology. Scientists from both planets worked together, sharing knowledge. Bulma's defense systems surrounded the planet, ensuring early warning against future threats. Broly, freed from Frieza's control, found purpose as the planet's guardian. His enormous power was channeled into protection rather than destruction, and Goku visited regularly to train with him, helping him master his legendary form. Tarbell returned from exile, reuniting with his father and brother in an emotional ceremony. Despite his gentle nature, he was welcomed home, proof that the new Saiyan society valued more than just raw power. Vegeta founded the new Saiyan Academy, a training facility that taught not just combat, but honor, strategy, and the importance of fighting for something beyond yourself. Bardock became one of its chief instructors, teaching the next generation about the mistakes of the past and the possibilities of the future. On Earth, in a cozy house in the mountains, Goku sat at his dinner table surrounded by family. Chi-Chi, Gohan, Videl, Little Pan, Goten, and now Bardock and Genie, who had decided to split their time between worlds. They shared a meal, sharing stories and laughter. "More rice, Bardock?" Chi-Chi offered, and the gruff warrior nodded sheepishly, impressed by the Earthwoman's cooking. "So," Gohan said to his grandfather, "tell me more about my dad when he was little. Was he always so reckless?" "Kakarot?" Bardock snorted. "He was a crybaby as an infant. Weak, too. That's why I sent him to Earth. I thought it would be a safe, easy mission for a low-level warrior." "Best decision you ever made," Goku said with a grin. "Indeed," Bardock agreed, his expression softening as he looked at his son. "The best decision of my life."
Far away, in the palace on planet Vegeta, King Vegeta looked at a holographic image of his son training with Kakarot on Earth. The two warriors pushed each other to greater heights, neither one willing to be surpassed, yet both clearly enjoying the rivalry. "They're so much stronger than we ever were," the king said to his advisor. "Perhaps," the advisor replied, "but they had something we didn't, Your Majesty. They had each other. They had purpose beyond power. They had love." The king nodded slowly. "Then that's what we'll build here. Not an empire of conquest, but a civilization of strength tempered with compassion. That will be our legacy. That will be our redemption." In the sky above planet Vegeta, the Dragon Balls finally regained their color, ready to grant another wish in the distant future. But for now, they rested, their work complete. Across the universe, Beerus the Destroyer watched the flourishing Saiyan homeworld from his distant planet. Whis stood beside him, a knowing smile on his face. Are you pleased with this outcome, Lord Beerus? Whis asked. Beerus yawned and stretched, his tail swishing lazily. I suppose. The Saiyans were always an interesting race. Having them back adds some flavor to Universe 7. Plus, it means more delicious Earth food when we visit. You've grown fond of them, Whis observed. Nonsense, Beerus huffed. I simply appreciate having strong warriors to keep things interesting. That's all. Of course, my lord, Whis replied, his smile widening. They both knew the truth. The god of destruction had become attached to the Saiyans and their endless potential for growth. Back on planet Vegeta, as the suns set and the moons rose, Saiyans gathered in the Great Plaza for an evening ceremony. Not a ceremony of war or conquest, but one of remembrance. They honored those who had fought, those who had fallen, and those who had brought them all back. And in the center of it all, broadcast on a massive holographic screen, were images of Goku and Vegeta, the low-class warrior and the prince, the destroyer and the protector, the rival and the friend. Together they had saved the Saiyan race. Together they had defeated an ancient evil. Together they had proven that even the darkest past could be redeemed. The legacy of the Dragon Balls would continue. The legacy of the Saiyans would flourish. And across the peaceful heavens, scattered stars shone brighter, united by the bonds of family, friendship, and the endless potential of warriors who fought not for glory, but for love. The story of Planet Vegeta's resurrection had come to an end, but the story of its future, bright, hopeful, and filled with possibility, was only just beginning.